What about preparedness to respond?
Well, I think obviously having done the homework is a critical element, but also then in the event somebody shows up, I think the most important thing is those first couple of weeks and the way, the tone really with which the company interacts with the activist. And we've seen shift over time here, but there are companies still today who respond with sort of tired canards and an unwillingness to meet, and you're a short-termer and you don't understand my business and I can't learn anything from you, and we've already thought about all the options. And that sort of stiff arm will really sort of annoy not just the activist, but all of the investors who, after all, are just looking for the company to make the best decisions they can based on all the information available. So I think in the first instance, the tone of response, the willingness to meet and talk and be open about mistakes and changes that are coming and sort of being thoughtful is critical. If ultimately you can't reach agreement, right, there's a whole series of things you do next that I think are pretty important for a company to do well, in order to succeed in one of these interactions.
One of the things that stands out, just your team of advisors. Is there a danger of I've heard it called advisor bloat?
Absolutely. So one of the things we've seen, and maybe not surprisingly, with companies and directors being concerned about the way they're perceived and sort of the new spotlight, in these situations, is that people will hire, 5, 6, 7 advisors because they want as many points of view as they can. They want to make sure they're covered off. They don't really think about the expense, frankly. Some of this backfires, right? There is a danger in appearing overly defensive and spending shareholder money in excess to defend your privilege or your incumbency rather than to think about the company.
Plus, it's got to slow them down, right? They cannot be nimble with that big a team.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And again, I've only been inside on a couple of these. Yeah. Most of the time I'm on the other side. But one of the things that I certainly notice is the activist is always able to respond pretty nimbly in a day, and they can write a letter and they can send it out. They can write a proxy statement or a 13D, and it gets out. Companies struggle to get their messaging right and to communicate clearly and succinctly. And I think, I don't know this to be the case, but I think that's often because there's 20 people on the conference call. Between the lawyers and the proxy solicitors and the IR people and the investment bank and all the consultants, it's very hard to respond like an army, right? That's really well directed.